Okay guys, Daniel, we're back again at the workbench, and this here is going to be the build block of this Easy Glider ripoff that my friend John from Canada, JMS Tech, shout out to you. Thank you for sending me this early Christmas present, and this is pretty much exactly like the multiplex Easy Glider, except that it's just a little bit bigger. It has a 1.96 mm wingspan, so that makes it about 10% larger than the thing. Now this comes with everything you would expect. It's built from Elapo. It has wings, and unlike the multiplex, the wings are already fully assembled with the steel spar inside of it. So you can see that here, the steel spar is right there. Okay, all you got to do here is just put the servo right into here, run the cable through. We have the wings here. Comes with the canopy. Canopy is really thick, also made of Elapo, and it has the tail, also mostly assembled. So this particular glider will go together very quickly if you are not concerned with making the changes for FPV mounting. So this is an easy glider to assemble for a beginner. And the hull, like the multiplex one, comes in two pieces. As I open this up, you can see that I have already mounted the servo. Right, this is a build block, but I thought I'd just put the servos in just to make it a little bit neater. I've also marked out some of these things that we will be looking at in a short while, the component mountings for the FPV plane, with everything including the Dragon OSD, the UHF Dragon Link that I'm testing out right now, with the IMU, the Dragon IMU as well. So the works going into this. I'm not so sure if we're going to actually put a pan and tilt right now, but we'll be looking into that. Alright, so that's your Easy Glider rip-off by some Chinese company. They call it the Speedy Glider. There are quite a number of gliders called the Speedy Glider, but this one is the Speedy. It says Easy Glider here, so we're going to build this one right now. Okay, we're going to start with the hull, the fuselage itself. But before I do that, I should say that this kit comes with everything that you need, including the spinner and the folding props. So we're going to have to change this because the size doesn't fit the motor that I intend to use. So we're going to have to do something about that. But it does come with the props, and it comes with glue even. Unfortunately, in my case, as you can see, the glue has hardened while inside, so that's not going to be any good for us. We're going to start here with the hull. It comes in two halves, as you can see here, right? Two halves, and I've marked out the different parts of the hull itself. That the wing goes in there, right? It's got a little bit more space up front, and the idea is to have everything laid out so that the center of gravity is still good. It doesn't move too much in one direction or the other. Now the difficulty here is that we're going to have a lot of cables running throughout this thing, 19 cables in all, and I've written down the cables that go through here. So this section here will carry the ESC cable, throttle cable, the servos, two servo, temperature sensor, OSD to video, the current sensor, and a whole bunch of other stuff here. Here you have GPS cable, throttle, and aileron cables, both two aileron cables for one on each side, so that we can have flap-on controls if we want that, and another group of cables here. Up here I intend to have the video transmitter module, so we're going to put that there. Receiver is going to go down here. OSD is going to go right here, and I have it here, so that's going to go in here like so, okay, like that, right? So that's going to go right in there. That required some cutting of the foam, which I've done using this nichrome cable that I bought. Okay, you can see that this very thin nichrome cable is only probably just a few cents, and I've only used maybe 2 inches of it. So what I've done here is I've just put the crocodile clips on the ends, right, just about 2 inches, and then what you do is you put a current. So this is really helpful if you would have a current controlled power supply, and put a current not more than, I say, about 2 to 3 amperes through this thing. It gets really hot, and you can just put it through this thing, cut it through just like a knife through, hot knife through butter. Okay, so now you can see the hull. The servos go here, right, and you have a little bit of space here. Presumably that's for maybe your battery sticking out. This whole section here actually takes the battery, this section here, but it was a little bit too narrow for the hyper-ion battery that I wanted to use. So what I did then was I actually cut off a little bit of foam here so that it's a little bit wider, and I can put the battery in. And then down here you can see how this originally works out like this, and I had to cut off a little bit of section here so that I can fit in the Dragon OSD, right? So that goes in nicely like that. You will also notice that I've cut out some channels here for cabling, right? So you can see how it just goes in. That's quite easy to do with the nichrome cable, right? I've done some on this side as well. So some of the cables are going to be on the left half of the fuse, and some of them will be on the right half. And over here is where the receiver is going to go, and back here is where the GPS unit is going to go. So that's the overall layout of this particular fuse that we will be using. Now if you look at this, you can see how I've actually just used the hot glue gun to hold in the servos, right? These are high-tech servos, HS81s. So 2 of them, these are for the rudder and the elevator. Now up front here you have the ESC. The ESC should sit somewhere here, and you have a firewall going here, and the motor. So again, I've cut off a little bit of foam here to accommodate the slightly larger motor that I have in mind. So that's the thing. Now up here you have the little section that I've cut out. Now you notice the cut here is a lot smoother, and that is because I used the I've actually just done that using the knife, just a knife here, and just a regular sharp knife. You cut that out, and the video unit goes in like that, right? So fits in perfectly. The cable runs into a little channel that I've cut out here with a hot wire, so that's going to go like that, right? So that will sit there nicely. I'm going to use double-sided tape to put that together. So a quick look at how the fuse looks like with the components dry fitted OSD. The receiver goes out there like that. GPS goes at the back there, and there you have it. So you have the whole fuse dry fitted. I've not put the ESC in there because you know, everyone knows what that looks like. So when you put the both halves of the hull together, it will look something like that. You see this little antenna here. That's the UHF antenna for the long-range link. That's the video antenna, right? And if you look inside, you can see there's a gap there. So the wires from the wings, the cables for the servo, that will go right in there. It opens up like that. All right, you can see how that goes together.